Welcome to No Place Like Home, the radio show, coming to you on WRXB 1590 AM, 96.5 FM, and Pinellas County Connection TV. This program is presented to you as an opportunity to hear information that can help you fulfill the dream of owning your very own home. We also share information about upcoming special events and programs to help you enjoy the good life in Pinellas County, as well as other items of interest. The sponsor of this program is the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County, which offers the First-Time Homebuyers Program. I'm Carmen Lemberg alongside Julian Hills, your host for today's show. Good morning, Julian, and happy 4th of July.
Well, it's an interesting morning. Maybe I inhaled a few too many fireworks fumes, but there's a flamingo in the house today.
Felix the Flamingo is here to help us through the show.
I wasn't expecting that, but it's a pleasant surprise because he'll be helping us with our topic today. Yeah. We'll be talking about protecting one of our most precious resources, water, from the homeowner's perspective. But it just won't be me, you, and a flamingo. We have some guests. Today we'll be speaking with Michelle Monteclaro and Ryan Rizik from Pinellas County Environmental Management. Before we begin our discussion, Carmen, I know you have a message from our sponsor, the Housing Finance Authority.
Thank you. The Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County is offering the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. The First-Time Homebuyers Program is for individuals who have never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or veterans. The HFA, working through a specialized group of lenders, offers a low rate on its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, and we can help you with down payment and closing costs as well. We're excited to announce the special program, Housing Floridians, in partnership with Center State Bank and First Home Bank for those with a household income at or below 80% of the area median income. Housing Floridians provides additional down payment assistance above and beyond what you get through our Home Key program. To get your key to home ownership, visit www.pinellascounty.org/HFA, as in Housing Finance Authority. For more information or comments about the show, give us a call at 727-223-6419. Julian?
All right. It's my pleasure to introduce our guest. Michelle Monteclaro is an environmental specialist 1 for Pinellas County's Environmental Management Watershed Protection Section. She earned her master's in environmental management from the University of Queensland in Australia in 2014. She's been employed with Pinellas County since October. She provides support for the Fertilizer and Landscape Maintenance Ordinance Program, the Water Quality Monitoring Programs, and the Pollution Prevention Outreach Program. Also here today is Ryan Rizik, Environmental Specialist 2. Ryan has a bachelor's degree in environmental health. He ensures the county maintains compliance with the state stormwater MPDBS permit. We'll explain what that means later in the show. Some of his duties include, but are not limited to, stormwater pollution education and enforcement, landscape maintenance, and fertilizer education and enforcement. He has worked in watershed protection for 6.5 years. Welcome, Michelle and Ryan.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So tell us who and what the environmental management is and what you guys do for Pinellas County.
So our role at Pinellas County Environmental Management is to monitor, protect, and improve the environmental and aesthetic qualities of Pinellas County's surface water. So our lakes, our creeks, our streams, Tampa Bay, and our coastal waters. We implement programs and regulations originating under the Clean Water Act. And the real goal of the Clean Water Act was really to protect America's waters. We are required under the stormwater permit to perform certain activities to reduce the amount of stormwater pollution from entering our waterways. It's not just regulation and requirements, it's good stewardship as well. Our local economy relies on clean water. We support our tourism industry, commercial and recreational fishing, boating industry, and our general quality of life here in Pinellas County. Our environment is why so many people come here to visit and to live here in Pinellas County.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, in order to protect our quality of life in Pinellas County everyone needs to know that we all live and work and play in a watershed. Pinellas County is a watershed. A watershed is an area that drains to an open body of water. Pinellas County is a highly developed and urbanized area, and everything on the ground makes its way into its waters. Every square foot of Pinellas County drains to a body of water. That's just the fact. When it rains, rainwater runs from our lawns and our driveways down the street and into our storm drains, which are all connected to a receiving body of water. So everything that enters our streets and our storm drains makes its way into a waterway without treatment, and it is a source of pollution. So anything that is not rainwater is considered pollution. Approximately 86% of Pinellas County's watersheds are impaired, meaning they do not meet minimum state water quality standards. Most of these waters have more than one impairment, and by impairment we mean nutrients from fertilizer and landscape debris, dissolved oxygen related to pollution in general, and bacteria from pet waste that's not picked up.
Oh, that's huge.
That's huge.
I mean, and it's not just homeowners. It's people who are renting, too. They need to be paying attention what they're doing out there.
Exactly.
It's everyone's part.
Everyone.
And like you say, live, work, play. Even at work, you're out there at lunch, sitting down by the water, enjoying your lunch. You got to make sure you're not just throwing your trash, your cigarettes, whatever, right out there for everybody to have clean up after you.
There's a lot of icky stuff out there.
There is. And, even though we talk a lot about homeowners, I want to make sure that everybody knows everybody is responsible for all this. But how can homeowners, as they're thinking about, their landscaping and everything, how can they make a difference in preventing pollution from entering our waterways?
So we can all make a difference, right? We all have a shared responsibility, so we can make simple changes to help prevent pollution from entering our waterways and promoting a healthy watershed. Our main partnership with homeowners is through a storm drain marking project. We call it These Guys. So what homeowners will do is we'll give them all these placards and some glue, and what they'll do is they'll go around their neighborhood and they will basically glue it onto their storm drain so that they know when they see the storm drain that it's only rain down the drain and it will lead to a body of water without treatment.
So glue it like right on top of
the
sidewalk there?
Yes, and it's our first avenue of public outreach. It's our first attempt at educating the public, sometimes without them even knowing. If you're walking your dog, you see this, and you're like, oh, this drains to the bay, or this drains to a lake or a stream. But separate from this, we have lots of public outreach material. We have door hangers, like our pollution prevention.
Actually, when they mark the storm drain, they actually put this on the doors of the neighborhood.
Yes.
So that lets them know that it was marked and why it was marked.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yes, and then we have a lot of information on, proper pool maintenance, pressure washing, painting and construction, landscape and fertilizer information, and really about the importance of picking up after your pet. All of these activities, if not done with caution, can have a negative impact on our waterways. And generally speaking, there are items that homeowners can do every day to protect our local shared water resources. We have our poster, Get the Scoop on Poop.
That's cute.
Get the Scoop on Poop, which is basically dog poop has a lot of harmful bacteria in it. And if it makes its ways into our streams, our lakes, our ocean, it can cause fish kills. It lowers the oxygen levels in the water column. So it's harmful to our waterways. If you maintain your lawn, blow your grass clippings and your leaves back into your lawn, or just bag them up and throw it out. That's one way from preventing, these leaves and grass clippings from going to a storm drain and causing flooding, as well as picking up your trash, place it in the trash can. That's just very basic. Never dump all other chemicals on the ground or down storm drains. And don't throw cigarette butts out the window. That's a big one I see often. Ever. Because there's a lot of toxic chemicals that if wildlife can get sick from and they can eat them, those chemicals could also leach into our waters as well. But most importantly, do your due diligence. And if you see activity that can pollute our environment, give us a call and report it to us. Our hotline is 727-464-5060.
You guys mentioned a lot of awareness that you do to get people, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who just aren't even aware of these everyday things they do that contribute to polluting our waterways. We're in the dead of summer right now, and fertilizer is a big deal during this time of year. Focusing on the fertilizer and landscape program, what should homeowners in Pinellas County know about it?
Basically, the program was created to address the issues Michelle was talking about. The nutrients is our biggest problem, so it's targeted nutrients. So the two biggest culprits is fertilizer runoff and landscape debris. So in that, it does have a requirement that you blow your grass clippings or remove them from the street or the impervious surfaces, so like streets, driveways, things like that, because those areas do connect to our water bodies, and those are nutrient impacts to our water bodies, so you're required to remove that. Also, as well as if you put your clippings back on the lawn, it can make up as much as half the nitrogen needs for your lawn. So it is recycling fertilizer right back in your lawn, which is kind of a natural process, because naturally the street wasn't there. People are like, leaves are natural. Yeah, they're natural, but the road isn't natural. We made a conveyance system for those nutrients to get back to our waterways, as opposed to decomposing on the landscape and becoming nutrients for other plants. So it's a natural process that we're trying to address those issues. Some other important reasons, like she talked about, was street flooding. Because you don't clean it up out of the street, all that leaves and debris, especially in our leaf fall season in the late spring, goes down our storm drain systems and get clogs. I've pulled manhole covers that are all the way to the top, full of leaves. People call out complaints about street flooding. That causes issues as well with that. And in that, you have increased maintenance costs. You have to have, Vector truck crews go out there and clean it up. That's more crews we need to do that. It costs taxpayer money. Not to mention the risk to houses. I've seen neighborhoods almost flood because people were stuffing leaves into a storm drain. So don't try to avoid those issues, and it is a requirement. Also, the county does recommend a 6-foot no-mow zone around water bodies. So if you live on a water body, it's important not just to have grass on a slope going down to the water, like a lake or something like that. We recommend planting native Florida plants, for example, that are low maintenance. You just go in there and pull some weeds every now and then, have a little mulch around them maybe, and that's it. Very low maintenance, nice natural look, and then you don't have to mow or weed eat that area, and those clippings don't go in the water body. And you don't have to fertilize them as well, so that does address those issues. You also want to ensure that your landscaper is certified. There's a class they're required to take, every landscaper in Pinellas County. Every employee of the company and the supervisor has to take a landscape maintenance best management practices course, which I teach. That is held once a month at the county extension, but it's also available online as well. It's $15 one time only, so once they're done, it's nothing real extreme, but it does educate them about our water pollution issues here and their impacts on that, and as well as it's has other information on that.
Well, talking about that class a little bit, you do have it once a month out there. Can they come out to that class too?
Yes, the public is invited. We just opened it up since we've gotten a lot of landscapers certified and educated at this point. We are opening up to homeowners and anybody's really interested in it to take the class. So they're welcome to sign up as a homeowner, and it's free for them. So the only difference they don't get a certificate or a decal, but they do get the education. So that is available.
And you talk about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, talk about those decals, because I've seen decals on.
Right. Some people call it the egg sticker. It's kind of an egg shape, kind of blue and white, and it'll show whether that person. It should be on a vehicle. They only require one per vehicle. There may be 4 guys in there certified, but they only require 1 per vehicle. And maybe on the trailer of the truck, it just should be somewhere visible on the outside. But that kind of just shows to us, when we're doing our inspections, that they're certified. So we're not stopping the same people over and over again. And it shows to the public that they've taken their education they're supposed to take. They also get a wallet card. So if you ever want to ask your landscaper, they should be able to show you a wallet card showing their certification. It'll have a civic number to them on it.
It's good to know that every employee of each company has to take that class.
Every employee.
Not just the owner
Every
or not just one employee.
Not just one crew
Everybody.
chief or anything like that. Every employee has to take it, because it's important that every employee knows what to do to keep our waterways clean from debris and landscape debris and
I
clippings.
see.
And
I
things
mean,
like
I
that.
see those commercial guys out there all the time,
Right.
just blowing it
yeah.
out into the road.
Well, and see if that
Yeah.
happens, they can get fined by the county for that. That is a violation of that ordinance, and they can get fined, especially if they've taken the class already. It's definitely going to get a fine. They may get a warning first, but it depends on the situation.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Also, want to make sure you follow the fertilizer recommendations.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about
So
that.
there are recommendations for fertilizer. University of Florida does put out a guide on that. And also, make sure you. We talked about the rainy season. There's a restriction during the rainy season on sale and application of fertilizer, and that's to avoid leaching and runoff issues. So that's June 1st to September 30th is that period. We're in that now, so we want to make sure that you are following these restrictions.
Now, is there any type of other natural type fertilizers? If like, I have a lot of landscaping, no grass, so I don't have the grass
Right.
to kind of spread back around and get any sort of natural fertilizer
Right.
back around. Is there any sort of natural fertilizer that you could use that is not going to be harmful?
Yeah, there's ones that nutrients are nutrients, but there are ones that are less dense in nutrients that can be used in the summertime, like compost, mulches, things like that. Materials, mostly organic material, kind of like leaves, leaf mold, that kind of thing, can be used, but it is restricted. Any actual fertilizers are restricted during that period. So you can use those instead. Sometimes that's enough, depending on the plant. A lot of our native landscaping, if you do forest-friendly or native landscaping, it really doesn't need a whole lot.
I
Once
do
it's
a lot
established,
of wood mulching. So
yeah, I
it's
use wood
teaching
mulch a lot at home,
closing,
and I actually fertilize the entire garden just with wood mulch and leaves. And that's it. I don't use anything else because there's enough when it breaks down that you can provide your nutrients for your gardens and landscape beds with that, and really need nothing else.
And aren't there other practices like not cutting your grass very low and things like that?
Sure, there's other things you can do, such as make sure you cut it the proper height for your grass type. Depending on the grass, most our types here are St. Augustine or Bahia, which means you want to mow about 3.5 to 4 inches tall. That helps conserve water. It helps less stress out the plant. It makes it where it needs less fertilizer because the taller the top of the shoot, the deeper the roots go. The deeper the roots, it's more drought tolerant. It can uptake nutrients better. So then you can actually fertilize less, or if at all, if you have Bahia, you really don't hardly need anything once it's established.
I had read somewhere about using like bat guano and mixing it up in water. Is that allowed?
Not in the summer restricted period. That's considered
also
fertilizer.
Okay.
So even it's organic fertilizer, some people get confused about that.
Okay.
Even organic, it's fertilizer is fertilizer, fertilizer. The environment doesn't care whether it's organic or inorganic.
Okay.
Nutrients is nutrients. Nitrogen and phosphorus is nitrogen and phosphorus.
That's
so.
why I wanted to ask on that because I said,
Right.
well, that's natural, kind of but it's natural. We were talking before the show about some more of your live, work, and play posters because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about those because you have some really cool posters with you today that do talk about, the living, the working, and the playing posters. And I kind of wanted you to just hold those up and maybe talk about those for just a moment, about the things you have on each of those to make a difference, if you're living, working, and playing here in Pinellas.
So for our live poster, we have, make a difference, lawn clippings on the grass. So basically blow your lawn clippings onto the grass. Dog waste, pick it up. Just pick up your dog waste. We don't want to step in it either. We don't want to step in it.
Same with your kitty cat.
Same with your
kitty. Outdoor kitty
all
cat.
pets.
And
All
don't do like some people do is they pick it up, put it in the bag, and then sling it in the storm drain. I've seen that
Yes,
before.
or they'll
it's
pick it up and they'll leave it and they don't put it in the trash can.
Right.
No, just
You
throw
know?
Leave it next to the trash can.
Yes, so pick it up, put it in the trash can. It's really our logo, scoop the poop. And trash in the trash can.
That should be
That's so
simple. That
basic.
should be
If you're on the beach, put it in the trash can. There are trash cans on the beach, guys.
especially after holidays.
Especially after holidays, yeah. And really with our work poster, motor oil can make, has a significant impact on our waterways if it's not contained or basically
Your spill's cleaned
with
up.
spills cleaned up, yeah. So in trash, in the dumpsters, trash has a lot of oil and grease that can leak off from it. So when it rains, all of that can make its way into the storm drain as well. And then obviously our cigarette butts. If you're a smoker, just throw it away. Make sure it's out and throw it away.
Right, now
pet
throw
peeve.
away does not mean throw on
On
the
the
side
ground.
of the
Or
road.
Or somebody's
Yes.
yard.
In the
Into a
yard.
trash can or into, a
Right.
cigarette.
And especially,
container.
now, since we are in the biggest drought in over 100 years in this area, fires start like that.
Right.
So if you're cruising down the
Exactly.
road, you're killing two things,
And-
our fire and our water
Right,
when you throw it
polluting
out
our
the
water.
window.
Yeah.
And the oil thing reminds me, when I first became inspector here, one of the things that I found was the guy was dumping oil down the storm drain, actually draining his lawnmower right into the storm drain.
No.
And a lot of people from up north here, and they don't realize up north we have combined sewers. Here we don't
So
combine
it gets
sewers.
it gets
It
treated.
gets treated up there. It doesn't
prior
get
to it
treated
being
down here.
released into a body
Because
of
of
water.
our old development, a lot of our storm sewer systems go straight to our water bodies. They don't even go through a stormwater pond or anything.
Wow.
It goes
So
to.
think
that's
about that when you go
something
to
think
play.
about.
You're at home and you dump that motor oil down the storm drain, and then you go to play in your boat on the Gulf,
Yeah.
and you're boating in your oil.
Just like-
Oh, yuck.
Right.
And it really
Right.
spreads out. It doesn't take much to cover a large area.
Right.
Wow.
And playing is, you're out there fishing, you're out there swimming, you're out there having a good time with your family. We want to make sure that our waterways are safe and that they're healthy for us. And it's basically putting the plastic in the bin. Fishing line, contain your fishing line. Don't leave it out
big
there in the
one.
water.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it kills a lot of fish and harms a lot of marine life. As well as, trash again. That's a number one thing. Trash. Even after the holidays, put in the trash can. It's a simple discipline, but it goes a long way to protect our waterways.
Now, if a neighborhood wanted to get those cool little storm drain signs, what would somebody need to do to get those?
Basically, you'd either email us or call us, and then we would provide these for you along with the materials, and then you would be responsible for organizing, around your neighborhood how you would place them around.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else have you got over there for us? You got more stuff.
I do. We have our Scoop the Poo poster. And basically, our fun facts. Did you know that dog poop can transmit disease to other dogs and to humans? Basically, 4 in 10 U.S. households have at least one dog. Pinellas County has approximately 185,000 dogs.
Wow. So that's
That's
a lot
That's a
of
lot of
chances.
chances.
For
That's a lot of dog
Yeah.
poop.
Literally tons per
That's
year.
a lot of dog poop.
It makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. It makes a very big difference.
Well, that's really wonderful. And what have you got there for
So
us?
I got leaf it on the lawn. That's one of our things we
Yes.
kind of a nice way to say when we get
Yes.
complaints from neighbors about their neighbor blowing grass clippings out in the road and leaving them there. It's kind of a nice way of saying, hey, you need to do something. Now, if it continues and we talk to people and it can eventually get defined, but we try not to go there.
I
We like
know.
just to do education first, enforcement second. We really don't want to have to do that. But that's we do that sometimes. And sometimes if we have a major leaf problem in a neighborhood or lots of grass clipping complaints in the same neighborhood, we'll actually have volunteers or interns go out and actually canvass the whole neighborhood with different flyers addressing what the issue is.
Well, I know, especially now that it's so dry. I noticed in my neighborhood that we have a lot of those big oaks and stuff, and with it being so dry, well, it's just like fall all over again. There's just not enough water to keep these trees alive. The leaves are falling like rain, and the gutters are just full.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I mean, I go out there and sweep my gutter up, fill up my trash can. Now,
You
these
may
trees,
not have put it there,
they're
but
not
it's
in my
it's
yard, but
helpful to
they're in my
remove it.
gutter.
It's helpful to
Yeah,
So
helpful
I'm
to
out
remove
there
it, yeah.
trying to, so I'm not buried under leaves or
Right,
anything. But it's just, I mean, I love trees.
Right.
But this time of year, especially when there's no water and all these leaves are everywhere, it's awful.
And that's when using a mulching mower, mulching them over, can really help your lawn. If it's in your lawn, it's actually fertilizer going back to your lawn.
When
Oak
I
leaves,
had a lawn, that's
Yeah.
what I did. But
right.
I couldn't get the lawn to grow very well, so I did Florida-friendly landscaping
That
all
works
over
great.
everything. I have a lot of palm trees, and I have a lot of very low-maintenance
Right.
areas.
And that's a good thing to do as well. You don't have to do much to it, except for a little bit of weeding.
A little bit of weeding.
What little there is. Mostly just during the rainy season, like, August, September, when it rains a whole lot. That's when you get weedy. That's when I get issues in my
Yeah, the weeds like that
my
rain.
area. Yeah. The rest of the year, I pull almost no weeds at all. It's
Yeah,
great.
I go
Yeah.
home after work, go walk around, just admire things that are going, pull a few weeds,
Right.
and
Right.
that's
Exactly. Pretty
It
much
works.
that's it. Yeah.
it works. That's great.
To also make a note about this door hanger, it's also in Spanish too.
Right.
wow.
A lot of our
Which
stuff is.
reaches out to our Spanish communities here in the county, which we find is really important.
It's fairly large.
It's fairly large as well.
And the landscape class is in Spanish as well.
Yes.
For that
That
reason,
is good to
because we have a lot of
know.
Spanish-speaking landscapers as well.
Which is critical to our program.
And we've actually done other languages too, but we have to make special arrangements for that. But we try to educate everybody that wants the education.
So, we've covered a lot of stuff, but one more thing I kind of want to go over, hope everybody has their pens and pencils, is how do they contact you? What's your website? Where do they go to get more information?
So you can find all of our information on our website. It's www.pinellascounty.org/fertilizer. And please feel free to call us. Our number is 727-464-4425. And our email is watershed@pinellascounty.org. And, well, like our Facebook page. It's Pinellas County Environmental News.
Page.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to and ask you one question.
Sure.
There's these initials that were up here about things in your job that you, the MPDBS or something.
DES.
What is that?
National Pollution Discharge Elimination System. So what that is the Clean Water Act was passed, as most people know.
Yeah.
But after that, they we cleaned up the factories, we cleaned up the point sources, like power plants, factories, things like that. But there's still some pollution in our water. What's going on? That's to determine there's diverse sources of pollutants, such as fertilizers and runoff and dumping and oil waste and things like that impact our waterways. So this was a new system to address those particular water quality issues. And that's what most of the stormwater and landscape maintenance ordinance falls under, is trying to meet those goals for cleaning up our water the rest of the way.
All right.
So it's just the federal government came up with a very complicated acronym for saying, let's clean up our stormwater.
And that's why I was
And
wondering.
that's basically what it
Stormwater,
is.
yes.
wondering what that was.
Prevent
That's why
pollution
I
from
think I
coming
like
into
Beef
our...
Floridian.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a
Beef
much
Floridian is
easier
much
campaign.
easier.
Yeah, that's much easier.
Floridian.
Felix reminds us that being outdoors in Florida is a big deal, but there's a big responsibility that comes with that. And I think just like your awareness is really good, and all the things you have to get people to know, because I think a lot of these things are just things we take for granted. Like from like blowing the leaves to putting your dog's poop in not the right place. I just don't think people think about the consequences that these things can do. So it's really important that you guys have opportunities like this to make people aware, because I think everyone really wants to protect the beauty that we have. And
Well, I think that's
We
why
do.
most of us are here. I mean, we want to go out and play in our rivers and our
That's what
streams
Pinellas
and,
County is.
and our
Exactly.
waterways. And, I drive by all these retention ponds, and some of them are just so clogged with algae and stuff. And I can't help thinking that this is why.
it is
Partially, yeah.
partially.
Yeah.
Everything running into it.
Yeah.
So, how quickly do we clean that? I mean, do you guys go out and clean retention ponds that are clogged up with algae and stuff?
The county just maintains their own retention ponds, but homeowners are responsible for theirs, or the HOA-owned ones. Sometimes it's a slice. Each homeowner owns a slice of it. It gets kind of complicated sometimes, but depends on whose it is. Is you're
Okay.
responsible for it.
I wonder, 'cause sometimes I see them get cleaned, and then sometimes they
Right.
just kind of...
One of the biggest problems I've seen is a lot of people don't keep aquatic plants in their ponds. They just want to spray everything. It's just a grassland pool. Well, those aquatic plants do a lot of good of pulling out nutrients.
Yes,
They pick up the
filters
nitrogen
water.
and
All
the
those pretty
phosphorus.
little water lilies?
Yeah, all those water
It's-
lilies and pickerel weed and things like that, which are beautiful. A lot of them flower and they're really pretty.
Yes.
But a lot of people just don't want
Don't want
weeds in there. They
anything.
think they're weeds, and they're not. They're serving a purpose. They also create natural habitat for animals and things like that as well.
And
So
it-
it's
it's-
very, very important. They do a lot of cleaning the water. A stormwater pond without plants in it is not nearly as effective as one with plants.
I've seen some of those that are blooming right now. They're just awesome.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't get rid of those.
Yeah, pickerel weed has pretty purple flowers. Some have nice white
Yes.
flowers. It just
Yes, gorgeous.
And it's also a cost-effective way to really clean your pond.
Right.
It filters the
clean
water.
and pretty.
Right.
What-
It's
you
clean
can't
and
go
pretty.
wrong.
Exactly. It's clean and
Exactly.
pretty. And we have our Adopt a Pond
We do have an
program.
Adopt a Pond program that helps homeowners, Pinellas County residents, with their ponds. And they help them plantings and figure out how to clean it up and get the nutrients down in them and things like that. So that's a really cool
That is
program we
nice.
have that helps homeowners with their pond or HOAs.
Cool.
And what a great way to end this conversation.
It is.
So I'd like to thank our guests, Michelle Monteclaro and Ryan Reisig with Pinellas County Environmental Management, Pinellas County Communications Department, and of course, WRXB 1590 AM and 96.5 FM. We look forward to having you join us next month. If you missed any part of our show or would like to view past shows, check out our website or catch us on YouTube. I'm Julian Hills.
And I'm Carmen Lemberg.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, make it a great day.